He's already asked me this before. Is he really that worried? Hey internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon Rod's Root. So in the last episode, Delora made Lucette a palace maid so she could serve Emelaigne, and so we're pretty much following her around, but Rod doesn't trust her. Obviously not, because he thinks that she's gonna ridicule his sister and whatever. But at the same time, we ran into Fritz, and he seems like he remembers everything, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't know that he's cursed, because he doesn't know what the hell's going on. We ran into Sir Alcaster, and the shady motherfucker, the Peter Baelish guy. We're gonna see what happens now, because Lucette is bringing Delora with her, so we'll see how Rod reacts this time. It has been more than a week since Rod and I returned to the Martian. He has been avoiding me ever since that day. Not that we have much cause to be around each other nowadays. I'm constantly on my feet preparing for Emelaine's ball. Oh yeah, that's right, she's getting engaged, or looking for a husband. This is ridiculous. Better be busy than bored, princess. I stopped for a moment to better balance the pile of fabrics that I am carrying. One of the maids has ordered me to bring this to the designated room so that it can be sorted out. I am being reduced to fetching and carrying, and I have made no progress on accomplishing my first good deed. I doubt that simply following orders from the other maids will help me get a first good deed. I start shuffling in my pocket, and then I notice Delora peeking her porcelain face out. Better to obey rather than disobey, at least. You're not going to get a good deed by being stubborn. Anyway, you gotta put yourself out there a bit more, princess. You can't do whatever it is convenient to you. That's not good. Delora has been no help at all. Wait, I recognize this place. Isn't this where your room is? I stop in front of the door to my old bedroom. Ever since I came here, I have been ignoring this room, not wanting to see what the king did to this during my absence. Did you not want to go in? Why should I? It's not that it's my room anymore. Oh, you're no fun. Aren't you curious about what has changed? I would be lying if I said I wasn't. I guess a little peek wouldn't hurt. She doesn't knock again. I step into the room and close the door behind me. It's like stepping into the past. The room is exactly where I left it. It seems completely untouched. What the hell? Is it Delora? Moments later, Delora is standing before me in her human form. It looks like someone's been dusting in here. Strange, considering no one should remember who this room even belongs to. I glance around wide-eyed. Everything looks the same. I put the fabrics that I am carrying down on my bed and make my way to the shelves where my dolls are displayed. My eyes pause on a specific doll. This one. This one wasn't here before. Delora raises her eyebrow. Maybe you just don't remember that one being there because she wasn't very memorable? You do have a lot of dolls after all. No, I know each of my dolls by name. This one is definitely new. Also the way its eyes look, that's kind of suspicious. She looks very similar to the dolls I saw in Viorica's shop. I quickly turn around to the sound of the doorknob. My eyes move to Delora, but she's already turned into a doll, and tucked herself in the corner of the shelf with the rest of the dolls. Emelaigne stands in the doorway, eyeing me curiously. Lucette? What are you doing here? I made a mistake, and I thought I was supposed to bring these fabrics here. I hope she doesn't see through my lie. Emelaigne shakes her head, smiling. It's not your fault, Lucette. You're still getting used to the palace, and its many rooms. I get lost here all the time when I first arrived, too. This room is very interesting, though. Father expressly ordered that it be kept clean, but otherwise undisturbed. Why would he say that? He won't say why, but apparently this room is very special to him. Maybe it belonged to someone he cherished. Cherished? What a joke. What? Wait. How would he know about this room? Unless, what's his, I already forgot his name, fucking Peter Baelish guy said something. Still, I cannot help but feel hope at her suggestion. I don't think Father would like either of us being in here. We should leave soon. I only came here to put a ribbon on one of the dolls. One of the dolls? Yes, I put one on my dolls here. She walks past me and picks up the doll I did not recognize. I bought this. I know Emelaigne always visited Viorica, but I did not think she'd like dolls. She always preferred receiving and buying books, so why does she have this doll? Huh, interesting. Do you like dolls? Well, I mean, I don't mind them, but I usually don't buy them for myself, no. So why did you buy this one? Emelaigne looks at the doll with a sad smile and shakes her head. I'm not sure. I bought this as a gift, I remember that much. I was going to give it to someone who liked... Oh, she was gonna give it to Lucette! So someone who liked dolls, someone I wanted to befriend. I don't know why, but it feels like right to leave the doll here until I can remember whom I was meant to give it her to. Emelaigne is silent for a moment before she turns to me with a bright smile. I know you have a delivery to make, but could you come with me to the palace entrance first? Mother is very busy talking with the cooks so the fabrics can wait. I resist the urge to glare at her. She's better not be dragging me around to do yet more errands. I'm expecting a delivery and I might need your help. I thought so. I have no choice but to nod. Of course. She was definitely gonna give that to Lucette, I can tell, because remember in the prologue she was trying to befriend Lucette because she wanted her to be her, like, sister, so that makes a lot of sense. I begrudgingly follow Emelaigne towards the entrance, and there I see the delivery carriage. A familiar person stands beside it. Viorica! Emelaigne pulls Viorica into a tight hug. I turn my attention away to glare at the number of boxes in the back of the carriage. I will no doubt have to help carry them inside. How are the preparations for the ball coming? Emelaine's smile seems forced a bit, but eases into something softer. It's going well, I suppose. How about the wedding? Dyson and I have finalized the date. It'll be 2 days after your ball. I can't wait to see you in your wedding dress. These two always talk so much when they're together. I ignore their chatter as I walk up to the carriage to observe the boxes piled inside. What's in these boxes? Oh! Viorica reaches out and grabs one. She hands it to me. I'm helping with the ball decorations. Came by with parts of the order today. Part of it? Careful, it's a bit heavy. I take the box from her hand and nearly stumble. This is heavy! Emelaigne should have had the mail servants do this. Queen Ophelia placed a large order. I brought the more fragile decorations first. Oh, the glass bubbles and vases? I grit my teeth and shift the box in my arms in an attempt to make it easier to hold. I thought you had worked at the toy shop. We also have aisles dedicated specifically to party decorations. What kind of toy shop is that? Lucette, will you be alright? I feel an orange simmer within me. I am obviously not alright. Emelaigne reaches out to help me with the box, but she's too late. I have only taken one step and the box slides and I stumble. I manage to cradle it in my arms, but its weight is too much for me. Before I hit the ground, I feel strong arms around my waist, pulling me back upright. The box is taken from me. Oh, I figured it would be Rod. My heart and my mind are racing for a moment. I cannot comprehend what had just happened. Are you alright? Rod? I glance to the side and I am shocked to see Rod standing there. The expression on his face gives nothing away, but with a close distance, I can see some flickering emotion in his bright eyes. Concern? Lucette, I'm so sorry, are you alright? Rod pushes me and I stumble forward, almost tripping onto the ground. He raises an eyebrow at me. Know your limits, Lucette. I glare at him as anger begins to bubble in my chest. Fuck you, I really want to tell him off, but like I don't know if that will be like, you know what I mean? Maybe I'll stay silent? I don't fucking know. I clench my fists and take a deep breath and try to calm myself. I will not stoop to his level. He's the one being cruel here, not me. You shouldn't have been summarily tried to carry something that was too heavy for you. I will not take responsibility if you get hurt. Rod, you shouldn't be angry with her for trying to help me. It was my fault for giving her something so heavy. Viorica, what are you doing here? Rod's voice is still cold. Viorica looks startled by his tone. I only came to deliver some decorations for the ball. And you thought Emelaigne and her maid could carry these things on their own? Rod, this is not her fault. I'm the one who chose to bring Lucette with me. I underestimated the size of the delivery. Viorica was just delivering the supplies. At least she admits to her mistakes. I never thought Rod would be so stubborn. Emelaine's expression softens as she looks at her brother. She looks sad. Rod ignores her and picks up the box that I had been carrying. He begins to walk away before he suddenly stops and glances back at me. Come on. Rod? We're going to call some servants to carry these boxes in. He turns around and begins to walk away. I am Emelaine's personal maid, not his. I glance at Emelaigne, who nods her head. I really am so sorry. Thank you for helping my brother, Lucette. I curtsy ever so slightly before running after Rod. Rod, wait! He picks up his space as if he's trying to loose me. What the? Why would he call me over and then he's just like, alright, see ya, bitch. Like, I turn the corner and barely stop myself before running into Rod's back. What now? Why are you angry at me today? I've barely spoken to you. Your mere presence is enough to darken my mood. I glare at him and cross my arms. Funny, you call me cruel, but right now you're worse than I ever was. I don't need someone who hasn't been managed a single good deed to lecture me. I have to try very hard to resist the urge to slap him. You were supposed to help me get a good deed. As I said before, I never agreed to this. I still refuse to help you. Rod starts to walk away again and I hurry after him. Can't help but recall how cold he was with Viorica earlier. I thought they were friends, but he treated her like this at the toy shop too. Why were you so angry with Viorica earlier? No reason. I raise an eyebrow when Rod quickly answers the question. Then you were cold for no reason? You have such a princely deposition. Rod frowns, but he has no rebuttal for my words. You must be generally cold and unfriendly. Excuse me? That would explain why you treated Viorica as you did. I had thought that you two were childhood friends. Viorica was always close with Emelaigne than me. We may have been friendly once, but we've since become distant. I'm pretty sure he was like in love with her or had a crush on her, but now she's getting married, so it's like he's angry about it, you know what I mean? Distant? It's none of your business. I pause as we pass by my door, remembering that I left both the fabrics and Delora inside. I make my way towards the door and open it. What are you doing? None of your business. Enjoyed your field trip. I frown when I see her sitting on my bed in human form. What would you have done if it wasn't me? Us witches have a sense for these things. Delora? Rod slowly enters the room. Oh god, it's nice to see you here, Lady Delora. It's nice to see you too, little Sebby. What are you doing here? Delora shrugs as she inspects her nails. I thought it would help the princess here since someone didn't seem very willing. Rod furrows his eyebrows at her. I didn't... Yes, I know. You didn't sign up for this. But did you really think you have a choice, Rod? Delora looks at Rod pointedly. You know the consequences if this fails. Rod looks away, expression conflicted. Consequences? What are you talking about? Consequences for not helping me with my curse? Rod sighs heavily before turning back to Delora. He does not pay any attention to me. I'm not the right person for this. Doesn't matter what you think. The princess thought you were, so suck it up and do your job. Rod is silent for a few moments before he finally faces me, looking resigned. I will help you then, but don't expect me to change my opinion of you. I shrug at him. It's not like I was expecting you to in the first place. Delora grins with clear triumphant. Good talk. Rod sighs. In order to achieve your good deeds, you're going to need to mend what you've broken before. I feel I already know what he's going to say. My sister has always wanted to be your friend, so you must do that. Show her kindness, and you may be able to get your first good deed through her. Show her kindness, huh? What does she mean by that? Consequences with Rod? Because I know he has the Little Mermaid curse, right? Because in the Little Mermaid, she lost her voice. That's why he can't speak, and that's why Sebby is speaking for him. So would he lose his voice permanently? I don't know. Delora decides to stay in the room for the time being, saying that she believes Rod will be able to help her now. Later, I make my way to the dining room with the fabrics and I see Emelaigne and Ophelia inside. Lucette! Ah, I see you have the fabric. Thank you! Ophelia takes the topmost sample of the fabrics and begins to inspect it as Emelaigne walks up to me. Where's Rod? He returned to his studies. Oh, right. He has a history lesson today. I am yet to finish my history homework, which is due tomorrow. As Emelaigne muses aloud, I ponder what Rod told me earlier. I must become Emelaine's friend, but is this really a good deed? I hope Rod doesn't send the servants out before he went back to his room. I wanted to tell him that Viorica and I had already called on the guards to bring the boxes inside. Maybe he decided to start his lessons earlier, so that he can make your dance lessons this evening. Dance lesson? Father wanted to hire the best dance instructor in Angielle, but I honestly feel more comfortable with Rod teaching me. He's a good dancer, so Father has allowed it. That is a surprise. I didn't know Rod could dance. He used to prefer singing, but then... oh. Ophelia trails off. I know she's talking about the Fairytale Curse, but I do not expect her to divulge in that information to a maid like myself. He's decided to focus on dancing for the past few months. Ophelia glances down at the fabrics and looks up at me and smiles. Lucette, would you mind helping me with this? I obediently walk over to the fabrics and Ophelia wants me to take a look through. There are apparently samples from the tablecloth that will be used during the ball. This is going to be a long day. I can already tell. That sounds really boring as well. Rod comes immediately to the throne room after his history lesson to start on his dancing lessons with Emelaigne. I am only standing here because it is my responsibility as a personal maid to watch over her as she practices. I watch as he steps out of rhythm and Rod sighs at her. You're doing it wrong. This is the 10th time. Sorry. Again. They start from the beginning and I'm unable to stifle my own sigh when Emelaigne messes up at the same step again. This would make the 11th time. I'm really terrible at this. Would you rather not have a royal dance instructor teach you? He has more experience teaching than I do. Oh no, I really want you to teach me, Rod. I'm sorry that I'm such a slow learner. You were always good at everything. Singing, dancing, cooking. Prince Rod cooks? Yes, Rod does cook. He's very good at it. You didn't have to tell her that, Does it really matter? I love bragging about how talented my little brother is. I see a tinge of pink in Rod's cheeks as he turns away. Is he embarrassed? I think anyone would be embarrassed, especially if their sibling is, any family member or a friend is, like, praising you, and you're not the type of person to be like, yeah, I'm good at that shit, you know what I mean? Because I can tell that Rod's not shy, but he's very, like, reserved with himself, so I can tell that he would be embarrassed about that kind of stuff. Emelaigne looks down at the floor, her smile is smaller. I wish I was talented as you, Rod. I always thought Emelaigne was over-optimistic. She always seemed to bounce back with a smile, no matter how many times I pushed her away. Now I cannot help but reconsider that thought. Still, seeing her like this only irritates me. Pitying yourself will get you nowhere. Not everyone can be perfect at everything when they first start out. I remember when Mother gave me the similar lessons. She was always such a harsh teacher, and she hated when I showed weakness in front of her. She made me keep practicing until I perfected whatever it was she wanted me to do. Failure was never an option. I never had time for self-pity. Instead of feeling sorry for yourself, just try harder. Let failure inspire you to do better. Lucette, that was... She's right, Rod. Instead of complaining, I should be working harder. I let out an exasperated sigh and crossed my arms. You always look at your feet whenever you reach the underarm turn. Instead, focus on counting your steps and let Prince Rod lead you. Worrying too much about your next step is what puts you off rhythm. Emelaigne stares at me. Can you dance, Lucette? I can. Why? Wow, that's amazing! There's nothing amazing about being able to dance. Her praises makes me embarrassed regardless. Maybe I could learn faster if someone else is doing the dance first? What are you talking about? It might be easier to copy the steps if I can have someone perform them first. Oh my god, she wants Rod to dance with Lucette, right? She turns to me suddenly, eyes bright. Would you help me? I am meant to assist Emelaigne in any way that I can, but dancing with her brother? Surely a lowly maid should not be doing this. Oh my god, we're gonna have to do this if we want to get the good ending. Fucking whatever. Right now, this is not like a romantic notion, so it's not bothering me right now. It's more like I'm gonna help Emelaigne, right? So this is not creepy yet. Well, if I do accept at least, I can prove that I am a better dancer than Rod. Besides, I'm supposed to be listening to Emelaigne, no matter how absurd her requests are. If that's what you want. Really? Emelaigne rushes to me and takes my hand in hers. Thank you, Lucette. I thought it might be awkward request, but I am so happy you agreed to this. I turn to look at Rod, who is glowering at me. I'm not dancing with her. She might step on my feet. Emelaigne gives me a disapproving look. Rod, please? Rod eyes me warily. I step towards him and offer my hand. Shall we? Rod scowls at me for a few moments before finally taking my hand. This is awkward. I put my hand on his shoulder and place my hand in his. I put my hand on his shoulder and he places his hand on the small of my back. Rod looks at me but quickly averts his gaze. Is something wrong? I didn't think I would ever have to dance with you is all. Neither did I. Rod looks at me again. This time he has an uncomfortable scowl on his face. He's not the only uncomfortable one here. We both start dancing and I mentally start counting the steps. It has come a very long time since I danced with anyone, but these steps come to me naturally. The dance is rather simple. While Rod and I move stiffly, I cannot help but notice his careful footwork. I realize that Rod is a pretty decent dancer. Of course, I would never openly admit that. When we stop, I hear Emelaigne clapping her hands as she looked to me at the both of us in awe. You are a really good dancer! Thank you so much for showing me the steps. Now I know for sure what to do during the part. I shrug at her before stepping back into the corner. Emelaigne takes her position in front of Rod once more. This time she has a bright smile on her face. I cannot believe something as simple as that has made her so happy. At the end of the day, Emelaigne has managed to do the steps correctly. She tells me many times how grateful she is for the help. After practicing, I return to my room and retire to bed. I think about how happy Emelaigne was. How can such a small thing make a person so happy? I get the feeling that Emelaigne is like very sad, a sad person, because she smiles so much, like to cover the fact that she is. Usually, I mentioned this before in my other videos, like usually the characters who are very happy are very sad on the inside, so we'll see later on. Also, the fact that Rod mentioned that in the last episode, when Lucette asked, like, why do you, like, do things for her, to make her happy or whatever, he said he needs to do it for his sister. So I get the feeling that she's really sad on the inside. Stepped out of rhythm again, Lucette. But Mother, this is really hard. A princess never complains. You must be perfect at this waltz by tomorrow. Otherwise, I will not allow you to play with your dolls for the day. But if you have time for objections, you have time to push yourself harder. Now, once again, from the top. God, Mother's such a bitch. The following days are eventful. Emelaigne continues her dance with lessons with Rod. Her steps are finally far from perfect, but I can tell that she has improved since my demonstration with Rod. Meanwhile, Rod still chooses to ignore me for most of the time, though I have noticed that he is still less cold than usual. At least he doesn't snap at me for no good reason anymore. Though Delora is no longer assisting me, she insists on staying in my room more often. She says that there is something important she wants to investigate, and I cannot even guess what it might be. I think it's either the creepy ass doll or the fact that Alcaster's like planning shit, so I think that's what she's doing. I prefer not having her around anyway. Her constant chattering makes it difficult to focus on anything. Right now, I'm still trying to figure out how can I achieve the first good deed. Almost 3 months have passed since I had first been cursed, but I have yet to complete my first good deed. These are my thoughts as I head back into my sleeping quarters after dinner that night. Emelaigne excused me long ago, insisting that I go to my room before she went to hers. I am walking down the hallway when I notice Rod heading down the familiar path. I follow after him. Are you going to the Martian? Rod jumps and turns around. The surprise in his face quickly fades into annoyance. Don't do that again. And no, not today. Since I came here, I figured out that Rod occasionally sneaks out of the palace at night through the secret passageway to go to the Martian. Even though I am still confused as to why he goes there, he said before that he has given up on breaking his curse, which makes me wonder why he still visits. It also makes me wonder why he refuses to break his curse in the first place. Is he okay with being the way he is, or is his curse just really difficult to break? Why were you cursed, Rod? I'm not answering that question. Why? I cannot help you break your curse if you refuse to tell me anything. I told you before that I do not need your help. But I chose you as my partner. You help me, I help you. It is highly likely that breaking Rod's curse will also count for a good deed. Rod scowls at me before crossing his arms. I'm afraid that this isn't how it works at all. The sound of footsteps keeps me from coming back to the retort. We both turn to see— oh god, Sir Alcaster approaching us. Prince Rod, good evening. Good evening, Sir Alcaster. Sir Alcaster turns to me and raises an eyebrow. Shouldn't you be attending to Princess Emelaigne? Rod silenced me with a look. He moves to stand in front of me, shielding me from Alcaster's gaze. We were just about to go to her. Let's go, Lucette. Rod strides away and I quickly curtsy to Sir Alcaster before falling after Rod. I can still feel Sir Alcaster's eyes on the back of me as I walk away. I try my best to suppress a shudder. Rod and I walk through the halls in silence. We both stopped in our tracks when we hear the clattering of silverware. I look around and I realize the sound is coming from behind a set of doors that is slightly open. The dining hall? Oh no! That's Emelaine's voice. We do not see Emelaigne when we enter the room, but there is a dizzying array of cutlery set on the table. Emelaigne? Emelaigne surprises both of us by crawling out from beneath the table. She flashes her embarrassment as she smiles as she gets on her feet, holding several forks and knives in her hand. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be getting ready for bed? Sorry. I eye the silverware on the table. I thought I could practice before I sleep today. It has already been an incredibly long day for her, and she's still doing this? I watch as Emelaigne puts the cutlery back on the table in the wrong places. You need to rest, Em. I will after I practice the placement one last time. She smiles at him before returning to the table. I don't know why a person would need so much for cutlery. 1 fork, 1 spoon, and 1 knife should be more than enough for any meal. And all these glasses! If I recall correctly, this one is for water, this one is for red wine, and this one is for white wine. Point out her mistake, give her the correct answers. I mean, maybe I should just give her the correct answers because she seems like— I can't be like that with Rod. If it was Rod, I'd be like, point out his mistakes, right? That flute is for champagne. The other is for sherry. Oh, right! But there are 2 more. The other for juice and the other glass is for dessert wine. The dessert wine glass will only be used during the dessert course. And the juice glass is only used when the juice is being served at the course. Otherwise, it is placed next to the water goblet. I see. I see Rod staring at me at the corner of his eye. His lip twitched before he turns back to his sister. It looked like he was about to smile. Then what are these for? Emelaigne points out to the group of forks in front of her. Use those every day, Your Highness. You should know that. You should know the answer. Emelaigne points at them as she rattles off the names. Dinner fork, fish fork, salad. Correct. You know so much about etiquette too. You're really incredible, Lucette. You make a better noblewoman than I do. Oh my god, Emelaigne is so cute. Like, I just want to hug her. She's so adorable. Even if I told her I wasn't noble, it's not like she would believe me. I just read a lot about these things. You read and you know enough to put them in practice? That's amazing! Especially since you haven't been with us long, right, Rod? Rod shrugs. He does not, much to my surprise, disagree. Perhaps you should be my teacher, Lucette. I can learn so quickly from you. Emelaigne quickly straightens out the cutlery. I have come to realize that Emelaigne is much more than she appears to be. It is probably because I am forced to spend so much time with her as her maid. She's different, she is flawed, and is not conceited and more humble than I originally thought. Maybe I should try lending her a hand. I may not be one of your tutors, but if you need help with your lessons, just ask me and I will do what I can for you. Lucette? I glanced at Rod, who was once again wearing an expression of surprise. I shift my attention to Emelaigne once again. You only have 1 month left to prepare, and as your personal maid, I feel it is my responsibility to help you in whatever ways I can. Lucette? Emelaigne wipes her eyes with the back of her hand. That's when I notice something glistening on her cheeks. She crying? Oh my god, she's so cute! You're extremely kind, Lucette. Thank you. I will definitely take you up on that offer. I am still looking at Emelaigne when she catches a faint glow coming from the pendant on my chest. Yay! One good deed! What just happened? Oh, what a pretty necklace you have, Lucette. Thank you. Anyway, for now, I think both of us would benefit from some sleep. After escorting Emelaigne back to her room, I walk out of the hallway in a daze. What was that light? Seems like you actually managed to obtain your first good deed. I did not know he was still here. I looked down at my pendant, astonished at what I saw. Yay! We did it! A piece of the glass slipper. I gingerly touched the new piece that is hanging at the end of my existing glass slipper pendant. It is real. You're not too bad after all. Did he just compliment me? What? Rod turns away. Nothing. He walks away, leaving me alone with my thoughts. Chapter 5, Secrets! Good morning, Your Highness. Would you like to play with us? You want to play with me? Yeah, come play with us. We'll have lots of fun. Well, please, just for a little while. Maybe I can... Lucette, what are you doing here in front of the gates? Mother? Good morning, Your Majesty. We were just wondering if the princess wanted to come play with us. No, Princess Lucette does not play with you. But, Mother, I do... Enough idle chatter, we must go. It is almost time for your dance lessons. But... Lucette, do not make me repeat myself. Yes, Mother. Oh my god, that's awful! It is still dawn when I wake up. As much as I want to continue sleeping, I have no choice but to get up and prepare for the day. The last thing I need is an annoyance lecture from the head maid. I almost become accustomed to waking up this early, even if I do not enjoy it. As soon as all my preparations are made, I begin to make my way towards Emelaine's room. She should wake early. I am about halfway there when I hear familiar voices. Standing far ahead of me are Sir Alcaster. Oh yeah, Mythros, that's his name, and Sir Mythros. Are you sure this is going to work? Have a little faith in me, friend. Friends? We're not friends. Sir Alcaster narrows his eyes and turns abruptly to look at me. Ah, Miss Lucette, was it? Sir Mythros, Sir Alcaster. Have you been eavesdropping, child? He has no reason to be angry at me. If they were talking about something confidential, they should have not done it openly by talking in the hallway. That's true. These people are stupid. I am on my way to Princess Emelaine's room, sir. That is why I'm here. I quickly look at Sir Alcaster, who looks like he's about to pop a vein. Cannot help but feel satisfied at his reaction. In just a few steps, he is suddenly looming over me. I have never seen Sir Alcaster look so angry before. What is going on? Rod is now walking towards us with a scowl on his face. Sir Alcaster notices and quickly steps back. There was just a little misunderstanding, Your Highness. Rod glances at me, his eyes narrowing. Great, I'm sure he's gonna blame me for this too, even though I did nothing. Ooh. He's protecting her. Much to my surprise, Rod simply puts himself between me and Sir Alcaster. Are you alright, Lucette? Is he worried about me? I slowly nod. Rod turns back to Sir Alcaster and Sir Mythros. If you do not have any business with Lucette, I will be taking her with me. Emelaigne is already waiting for her. Sir Alcaster stares at me for a few moments before bowing down to Rod. Of course, Your Highness. Thank you. Rod turns to me again, his expression solemn. Shall we? He walks out before me waiting to reply. I look back at Sir Alcaster and Sir Mythros one last time before chasing after him. Well, it's good that he's helping, because honestly, Sir Alcaster is like an asshole, but Mythros is just creepy. I don't like him. The both of us spent the next few minutes walking in silence. Rod has said nothing to me ever since our encounter with Sir Mythros and Sir Alcaster. Are you okay? What? He's already asked me this before. Is he really that worried? I'm not. I'm fine. I'm surprised by the look on Rod's face in my response. His expression is soft, unlike his usual scowl. Rod here is pretty worried about you, Princess. Rod glares at Sebi, his cheeks tinged pink. Sebi chuckles. Sorry, Rod. Your thoughts ring so loud in your mind that I can't help but say them out loud. This is not the first time Sebi told me what Rod is thinking. Rod reaches out and pinches Sebi's face, his scowl returning. Ow! I'm sorry, okay? But next time, try not to think too loudly! You said that Emelaigne was waiting for me? I did not expect her to be up so early. Where is she? I lied. What? He lied about helping me out of the situation? Why? Why are you helping me? Because while you are here, you are my responsibility. I may loathe the role, but I still uphold to it. Besides, you don't need a reason to help someone in need. Help someone in need. I remember Parfait and Delora telling me before that being good often involves helping others who are in need. Now that I've helped you, I'll be taking my leave now. I have a fencing lesson to attend to. Rod starts to walk off, but then stops and turns back to me. Don't get yourself into more trouble. I won't be there all the time to save you. I glare at him as I cross my arms. I'm not some damsel in distress, Your Highness. Do not need your help. Rod starts before turning away from me and walking away. Okay, so I'm gonna end the episode here. That was really interesting. It's nice that Rod is not being a complete asshole to Lucette, and it's also nice that Lucette is being nice to Emelaigne because she's so precious and I fucking love her. And I'm wondering how the rest of this goes. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed Cinderella Phenomenon, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to join the companions. And if you guys would like to support me on Patreon, there's a link in the description where you can check it out. You get early access to videos, Patreon exclusive videos, the Discord server to come talk to me and other companions, and a bunch of other cool stuff. Otherwise, if you would like to check out my store to buy anything in there, I would greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Hurting me!
Please stop! Let Chris.
Ooh! What? What? Is she gonna kill Chris? Where? You taste like shit. You have bad taste. I don't even know how to start explaining how wrong you are. Who gets to put the pizza in first? Rock, paper, scissors.